What's up, everybody? Trinity here. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel, and welcome to our first community stream in a long time. Thank you all so much for being here. I did decide to start doing this just because I wanted to get more interactive with our community and things like that that we've kind of built here on the channel here over the last couple of years. And we were doing some regular community streams, I guess, through like WandaVision and even a little bit through Falcon and Winter Soldier. Didn't get a chance to, to keep all of that up, as just kind of got busy with life and different things out there. But now, now we're going to be bringing community streams back. And if you would like to join the community streams, this first week we've got what we've got is our channel members that I've sent out the link for. We'll probably send out the link to some other great people here in just a little while. If anybody wants to join the show, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you got your notifications and everything like that turned on. If you want to join the conversation, like I said, this week we're gonna go with Myrtle Maniacs, and we may get some more other guests depending on how many people we have here throughout the day. We're probably only gonna go for about an hour, maybe 90 minutes, and just kind of share our thoughts and talk about Hawkeye. Episodes 1 and 2, and just kind of get together and nerd out about this. And we're going to talk about other things MCU, and probably we'll get into other things nerdy as well, and maybe even not so nerd. Who knows? Who knows what kind of topic somebody's going to bring up in a community stream? This is for the community. This is for you. This is for you people. Yeah, you people. You folks. This is for the Myrtle Maniacs. Smash that like button. Let's go ahead and get right into it today. Yes. Let's see if we've got anybody that's joined the chat. I've got my headphones here. I've got my headphones, right? You can see I got my headphones here just in case anybody has joined the chat and wants to join. Like I said, let me know. We'll get into it. We're gonna have some fun here. If you are a channel member, I left a link on the community tab here on the channel where you can go and you can follow that little link, and all you gotta do is have Skype, click it, and come onto the show. You can come share your feelings. You can come share your feelings about what you thought about Hawkeye. I guess before I switch to this scene, maybe what I should have done is I should have made sure that we got somebody on the line. If we don't got nobody on the line, then I'm gonna flap my gums for just a few minutes. I'm going to flap my gums for just a few minutes, and then we'll see. Okay. We'll see what we got going on here. See if anybody has joined the call. Is anybody here? Is anybody here? Is anybody here on the chat? Come on, guys. Don't be bashful. I see. Oh, we've got a guest. Okay, you're muted. I think you got yourself muted. There we go. How's it going? I still don't hear any audio coming from you. Do you guys hear anything? I don't hear anything either. I don't hear anything either. All right. Anybody? Well, I guess let me make sure I've got my headphones on here. Make sure I've got my headphones on. Make sure I've got them turned up. On, up, we're ready to go. Let's rock. Who we got here? I see we've got a guest in the building. How are you doing? You're not muted anymore. You're not muted. But I do not hear you. I do not hear you. Are you here? Is it your microphone? I hear somebody. I don't hear them. I see them. They're here though. They're here. I see you. I see you. It's okay. You can join us. Join us. Okay, well, I guess until somebody joins us, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and share. Make sure that it's all. Let me just make sure I got it all right. There we go. Okay. Are you talking now? Okay, I don't think so. I don't think so. Let me make sure my. Let me make sure. All right. Yeah. All right. My audio is good.
Hey,
Oh, there we go. We got
hey, can
somebody.
you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, can everybody else hear me?
Yes, they should be able to now. Give us a
Okay,
microphone
well,
check. We got my man Mike, licensed to shill Porter. This is the only man in the community that has a license to shill. The only person allowed to shill outright. Don't be don't be shilling like a villain if you don't have a license to shill like my man Mike Porter. Mike Porter, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. The first word that I want to say today to everybody is bro.
Bro.
Bro. Bro.
Yes.
I love the tracksuit mafia. That is just awesome. And I understand that it is very close to what you see in the comic books, and they go bro the whole time. So that's hilarious. And yes, I do have a license to shill. And yes, I love this show, but most of the critics and most of the cynics within our community also like this show. I think it's intriguing, and I think there's a combination. There's a difference between what you see with the Marvel and Netflix, and it's not too Disney, but it's not too dark with Netflix, and I think it's hitting that lane. And I think we also have all underestimated Jeremy Renner and how good he is, and of course Haley Steinfeld is as good as well. So anyway, that's my opening points, Trinity.
Yes, yes. And I absolutely agree. I have, yeah, I haven't really watched a whole lot of movies or anything with Haley Steinfeld in it, but I can tell you one thing. Like in this show, she came in and I thought she did a pretty good job. There's a couple of spots where I feel like, maybe could have been a little bit better, but that's just in the show overall. I thought she came in and, like I said, I've never read the Matt Fraction, David Aha run of that, and I don't really know a whole lot about Kate Bishop herself anyway. But I thought she came in and just did a good job, at least portraying this character to the best of my knowledge, which again is at a very normie level when it comes to this character. But I thought she did a very good job, and Jeremy Renner, absolutely. I think he did a good job. I mean, kind of exactly what I would expect. I mean, the one thing I definitely like, I'm not for sure what it is about this show that I just really, really enjoy. Like, there's something about it, it really does it for me. And I've watched it several times. I'm like, man, I don't know. And I'm trying to pinpoint, like, what is it? And I think it's the fact that maybe there's little or no expectations on my side of it. And also because it's ground level, so there's not really a whole lot of crazy places that I feel like they're going to go, even though they did kind of do that in the first episode, showing the Battle of 2012 again.
Yeah, and another place they went to, because I know this character a little bit, and of course he's not wearing an outfit, but the guy who plays Swordsman, the fact that she's going, what are all these swords here? I mean, they've got him kind of street level because he's kind of he may be in the mob, he may not be connected, he may not be. He's an associate, whatever he does. But at the same time, they're like, what are all these swords doing around and everything like that. So right away. Oh, that's the swordsman. So and
Yeah.
that is another character that I know a little bit, that is there with Hawkeye, and
Hmm.
so it's I'm really glad that they went there, and now everybody is like, well, the mom is sus. We don't know what the mom is up to. How
Right.
connected is she? And you have the tracksuit mafia. The thoughts about Kingpin coming in. there's a lot of neat things that they're going to do. You know, they've got Echo, of course. We saw that at the end of episode 2. We're going to get how do you say her name? Yelena Belova. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get all these characters that are in the street level, and you know, you may even get oh, what's her name? Elaine Bendis, her character. um, you know
Yes,
who I'm talking about.
Venice.
We may get what was her name? Anyway,
Yeah, Valentina
Valentina.
Consolina
Yes, we
Pavinina
may get.
Farina
Yeah,
Thumbelina.
we may get her involved. We may not. But you know, the fact is that we see what Marvel is doing in Phase 4. I I you know, for the holidays, I got to see one of my nieces that I made a nerd over time, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, she really loves things. But she's also a student in college, so she's not able to watch all the shows and go to all the movies.
Mm-hmm.
And in our perspective, you know, we were starving for a year, but now we have so much content that somebody like a student can't keep up with it all. And you know,
Mm-hmm.
we've got we what Phase 4 is doing. Some people are disenchanted with Phase 4, but we do have a lot of quantity, and we have it everywhere. We have the street level, we have the mystic, we have the cosmic, we have everything you want. Yes, we don't have Iron Man now. We don't have Captain America, but we've got all these things going. And we know that Fantastic Four by the end of this phase is going to be here. We know we're getting Blade. We know we're getting all that stuff that's going on there. And eventually, whether it's phase 5 or sprinkled into phase 4, we know we're getting X-Men. So we're getting this whole pot of everything, and I'm enjoying the street level,
Mm-hmm.
part of it. And I'm enjoying having a little bit of that Netflix flavor that is not so dark, you know. And to me, the humor's not forced. Jeremy Renner is a natural, um, and if they stick to the source material, I think they've got a winner here. And it's just exciting when we do talk about, and not all of Phase 4 has hit everybody, and maybe it's hit you, but you know that there's some better than others. I mean, even though I'm a shill, I know that there are some better than others.
Right.
You know, you know, you got, of course, as the movies goes, I would say that Shang Chi is the best, and then is it Black Widow and then the Eternals, or is it the Eternals and Black Widow? But it doesn't matter, you know, and everybody's going to have a different opinion. You know, that's what I think is so interesting. When I met a nurse one time, Trinity, last year, getting ready for one of my surgeries, her favorite MCU movies was the first Captain America and Captain Marvel. That was her first 2 movies.
Captains,
And then
huh?
I ran into some people in rehab, and they hated Ragnarok.
You were in
And
rehab, Mike?
well, heart rehab,
Oh, oh, oh,
not the drug
oh,
rehab.
oh.
No,
I'm messing with you.
I'm not here with you. Yeah. That's right. Yes, everybody. I'm a stoner with my boomer voice. No, no, not that kind of rehab. But you know, yeah, this person didn't like
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, and
That
there's
makes
some
sense.
people like me. I might be the only one, and there's the reasons why I like Captain America and Falcon and the Winter Soldier was character development and monologue. That is the reason why I like it. Was it the best thing? Do I understand that they kind of screwed things up with COVID and finished the story? Was there not enough action? Did not everybody feel that, you know, that the Falcons should have the cap shield? I get all that, but when I look at it with the monologue and everything, every time Zemo was in frame, I was captivated.
Yeah. Yeah.
They brought in, the Dora Milan, blah blah blah, the
Mm-hmm.
Wakandans. They brought
Mm-hmm.
them in. It was very interesting. Could it be the weakest thing that is in Phase Four? Maybe, but I still enjoyed it, and that's. I mean, that's just me geeking out in Phase Four, and then seeing Hawkeye. Here's the thing: me and my wife, because we've got all of what's going in COVID, usually we here in America, Thanksgiving is in November, we honor the turkey. We don't want to do anything with Christmas until after the turkey. Well,
Right.
because of COVID and everything, in October, we're running around listening to Christmas music. So here we are with Hawkeye. It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
He's shooting arrows. It's got that James Bond vibe. He's running around. He's throwing Molotov cocktails back to the tracksuit mafia. The tracksuit mafia is going bruh bruh bruh. And then we got one of the things that I want to see. Okay, if they did Zemo and they taped 45 minutes of it and they put it on YouTube, I want to see part of
The
the
clubbing.
musical. I want to see Rogers. I want to see at least that one song. I can do it all day. I want that on YouTube. I want that so bad to dissect the lyrics and everything, to see all the Easter eggs you can get. And then I've been to Broadway a lot. My wife's family are big Broadway people. My brother-in-law
Okay.
takes me to New York every once in a while. I saw Hamilton in the first round.
Nice.
Yes, everybody
Nice.
can get upset about that. Of course, I love spam a lot, and all that other stuff that goes with it. I saw Wicked out up there. I saw this and this and that. Rogers, that is hilarious because first of all, you think
Yeah.
when you see Rogers, you think of Hamilton,
Right.
and they actually kind of played with it a little bit with him and the shield, with the with the artwork a little bit, not completely, but just a little bit, and
Hmm.
I just think it's golden. So anyway,
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the show. I'm enjoying where it's going and everything like that. I guess the point of it is at one point, that what is her name? Haley Steinfeld's character. At
Hmm.
at some point, I guess she will have the mantle of Hawkeye, and what will happen to Jeremy Renner, and if they will address that in the show. But you know, it's all interesting, and I'm loving the show. The 2 episodes, but there's so much going on. You were talking about other nerdy stuff and stuff that is beyond nerdy stuff. Wayne is talking about the Wheel of Time.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to get caught up in that, and then being a boomer that I am, and being a music fan that I am, they decided on Wednesday, no, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to give us 6 hours of the Beatles Get Back
Hmm.
documentary with Peter Jackson, documenting basically that concert on the rooftop, and then all the recordings and everything like that. So I have been immersed in that. And so when you were talking about let's talk Hawkeye, I'm like, Hawkeye was a long time ago, So we've got a lot, and then family. I've had 2 family gatherings, and
Hmm.
I was up in the mountains late last night, and trying to drive
Nice.
back, to the Atlanta area was very hard. So I'm kind of dragging today, but anyway, a lot is going on, and then it is exciting, and so when I'm sitting there talking to my niece, I'm like, "Well, have you seen Hawkeye yet? Did you did you see the finale of What If?" Well, she says, let's see, I don't even think she saw Shang-Chi. She saw Black Widow, so she's like, oh, I gotta see all these. I gotta see all these.
Yeah, and
So
they're pumping them out now.
she's got a month, so she's got a lot to do. Now she can stay home and watch, Shang-Chi. She already saw Black Widow. She's gonna
Hmm.
have to go to the theaters, I guess, to still see Eternals. But she's got a month off of school, so she says, "Oh, I can do it now." So she's got a lot of homework, and
Yes.
so and if you were to ask me, because I'm a shill, I will say that it's equal on quantity and quality, and that's me flapping my gums, and all your audience members are gone, and I apologize for that, and you're looking good today. I like your headphones and everything. You're looking like a cyber Princess Leia. That is a male. That is not a female. That is very male. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Obi-Wan, you're my only hope.
We need some
Uh,
help, Obi-Wan.
anyway.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Well, yeah, and like one of the things you mentioned is like about like phase 4 too. Like people, how they're feeling about it so far. And one of the things I kind of thought going into it, and one of the things I've discussed here on the channel several times is I really feel like we're kind of back at ground level again, but like basically what they did throughout the first 10 years here is they built the ground level. They broke the foundation. They built a they built a good foundation in which to build upon, and they got that first level done through these first 3 phases of the MCU, and now going into the 4th phase, it's like they're having to expand and start to build the next floor, laying all the groundwork. And I really feel that's like what they're doing so far in all of these shows and even these movies that have released this year. Even in Black Widow, it really feels like that. I would say maybe the exception being Spider-Man Far From Home that's come after Endgame is like Black Widow and everything else. It feels like it's more like expanding the MCU outward as opposed to building it upward right now, just kind of laying the groundwork for other things to come. And I think it does suffer a little bit for that because we're kind of getting these stories, especially in the shows, that are more expansive as opposed to building, and it doesn't really feel like they're going anywhere when I really feel that they are. And I think even from the get-go I kind of felt like that's what was going to happen, and I think some people maybe lose sight of that or don't think of that in the fact when it comes to some of the expectation of these things as well. But I've enjoyed what's come out so far in the phase 4 of stuff. And
Well,
as far as your music stuff, I haven't watched the Beatles thing yet. I haven't watched it yet.
oh, that's cool. Well, yeah, I mean, if you're into it, if no one's into it, I think it's interesting because you've been there before. You've been to a recording studio, and to see how they did it and everything, and of course the dynamic too, where Paul and George had a problem, because
Right.
towards the end of the Beatles, they all, well, all most of the Beatles was credited, just like they do with the Rolling Stones. It's credited to those two. It's credited to John Lennon and Paul McCartney. But you know what a Paul song is, and you know what a John song is. And
Hmm.
then right there at the end, George was showing that he was just as good as a songwriter. You know, you
Hmm.
had you had all those rocky songs like Get Back and everything. And incidentally, I learned they were working 2 albums together. They were working with Let It Be and Abbey Road, kind of simultaneously, and also songs that you found out later on that were solo projects they were already working on. So if they hadn't
Hmm.
broke up, a lot of those solo songs would have been Beatles songs, and
Right.
it was very interesting. But they were working on something, and I look at all the rockers, and to me, the gems at the end, and then a lot of they also had a lot of just jam music that was really good, bluesy, and just really good. The stuff with Billy Preston was
Mhm.
awesome. But when I look at, everybody's like, well, I like the mid Beatles or I like the early Beatles. Those last four songs, and of course, this was a little bit after Hey Jude. But the
Mhm.
last four songs is I think of Long and Winding Road and Let It Be, but not John's songs, but George's songs. I think of Something and Here Comes the Sun. Those are four songs that most everybody likes. I mean, we like, Get Back and what was the rocker on Abbey Road. We like all those songs, but if we're going to appeal to the masses, those four songs, even though they're a little bit slower, you know, it is going to appeal to the rockers and the pop people and people of all ages. So
Right.
I thought that was interesting. Now, getting back to Marvel, you're exactly right. I have discussed this before. I think Landon Dubes had brought that up, and it's exactly what you're saying. I think that Phase 4 is basically um, Phase 1 all over again. And because you're right, they're annexing the building, so you got to build the foundation and everything that goes with that. And I think that's interesting because we've always known what the lineup is going to be as far as the movies go, and it is interesting that they're getting the building a foundation of, and now we are going to get the sequels, the ones that people are familiar with. You're going to get you're you're going to get the Spider-Man first. You're going to get Doctor Strange. You're going to get Thor. You're going to get Ant-Man. You're going to get the, the the Marvels. You're going to get Wakanda. These are people that we're all interested in, and that might be the point where the people that aren't feeling it get back on the Phase 4 train, because that those are the characters that they are familiar with and everything. And that's exactly why I have the opinion that for general public and even nerds, we all like the stars that we are familiar with. We
Mhm.
like sequels.
Right.
We also like star power.
Mhm.
So if we know that in Spider-Man No Way Home that they are going to fight, that Peter Parker, that Tom Holland is going to fight other Spider-Man's villains, even though they're in different, you know, multiverses or whatever. We know that those are the actors. So why not go ahead and try to sell all the tickets and tell us for sure that those other two Spider-Men are in there? The word of mouth argument, I get it. I had a nephew that told me about the word of mouth argument, and it's a great argument. But I think with it being a holiday release, everybody's schedule is going to be so different when they can go to the theaters and when they can't go to the theaters, that it's not going to be all 1 week, at a time.
Mhm.
Us nerds will, especially if the Spider-Man are in there. I don't know how many times I'll go see that movie.
Right.
And it's one thing if it's a cameo, but if it is what is rumored, where they're at the end of the second act and all of third act, they're
Mhm.
in the movie at least 30 minutes of screen time. I don't know how many times I'll go see it.
Right.
Now, if it's if it's a five if it's a 5 second cameo, or they're in it for 5 minutes, it'll still get me to go back. But if
Mhm.
they're in there for 30 minutes, I can't tell you how many times I will go see that movie. And maybe that's what they're banking on. You know,
Right.
they're trying to make it a surprise, but I think hiding actors and then hiding an event like you have in Captain America, where he an end game where he's holding up Thor's hammer, is two different things. Hiding an actor and then an event you know, that event was a nice surprise, and
Mhm.
everybody was really happy about that. And I'm glad that I didn't even know about a leak about that. And some of us might have known about those leaks,
Mhm.
but I'm glad I didn't. You know,
Right.
but we know that it's been rumored forever, and and to me, it would be a lost opportunity if they didn't even show up in a cameo. Because
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
really, we got the same guy who's playing Doc Ock, and we've got uh, uh, Osborne, and we got all these people,
They're giving
and
you every they're giving you
we got
everything
Jamie
to believe the
Foxx.
rumor. They're giving you everything to believe the rumors that Toby and Andrew are in there. And if they're not, that's pretty disappointing.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, it's like I was kidding with Josh. It's going to be the most disappointing thing since what they did with Luke Skywalker in the sequels. You know, it was a lost opportunity. You
Yes.
know, of course
Yes.
they tried. Of course, now don't get me
And
wrong. In Mandalorian season 2, they almost made up for it because I finally got to see the Luke that I've been wanting to see forever. You know, the Luke with the full training, the Luke with that was a badass. You know, but
yeah.
why couldn't we have seen that in the sequels?
Well,
Or
because
maybe
they
he
wanted
was
to bring
too
Crybaby
strong.
Luke back. They wanted to bring
Yeah.
Crybaby Luke back.
Well, and what we got was Boomer Luke. You know, he's a curmudgeon. He's like, I don't have time for you kids anymore.
Yeah,
Get
he
off
he
my
reverted back to
lawn,
being a crybaby
new
teenager.
Jedi.
Yeah.
What's that?
He reverted back to being a crybaby teenager like he
Yeah,
was in the first few movies
he did,
until the
but at the
very
same
end.
time, it was like an old man. He's like, I can't train you, and blah 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 blah. Get off my lawn. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I guess it was both.
As my man Wayne would say, he's a whiner like his father before him.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. That
Oh,
is
weird.
very true.
So let's get into the chats here and say what's up to everybody. I see we got obviously my man Mike Porter here, Star Wars MCU OG, Chillmonger in the building, Eric Heine, my man. Look, I knew as soon as we got a community stream going, Eric Heine would be up in this piece. I knew he was gonna be here. Let's see. We've also got Lucas Texvenger, my man. How are you doing? Brian McCann, how are you doing? Trinity muted again? No. King James 74, thank you so much for being here. Let's see who else we got joining the build. We got Mike from Comic Book Steals and Deals, my man. What is up? Let's see what everybody is saying. As yeah, Valentina Molina, Argentina. There we go. And Eric, I'll get you a link here in a little while where you can come and join for a little while as well. Right now, I was just doing. I was gonna do just Myrtle Maniacs this week, just channel members. But you've been around for a while, Eric. You've been waiting, man. We'll bring you back on. Let's see. Chillmonger said Falcon and Winter Soldier was excellent. I thought it was okay. I thought it was like I like it more than Loki. I like it more than What If. If that counts for anything. King James says I enjoyed Civil War the most. All right. Brian McCann says Captain America: First Avenger was awesome. Winter Soldier was epic. Civil War was cool. Falcon and Winter Soldier was eh. Yeah, I thought Falcon and Winter Soldier. I mean, obviously compared to those two, I mean, we're comparing a TV show to a movie. Like, it's not even really fair, to be honest with you. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't think there's going to be a TV show that the Marvel Studios are going to put out one of these streaming shows that's going to compare to a movie. I just don't think that's going to happen. Um,
Right.
but yeah. Um, let's see. He says Broadway. Ew. um, let's see. Brian McCann says JR is going out. Jeremy Renner is going out as Hawkeye Ronan. Bishop will be replacing him. I mean, more than likely. I mean, that's yeah. Black Widow had no bad part. Taskmaster twisted into female. Otherwise, good for yeah. And I agree too. I think Black Widow itself was like I've been saying it was a good like if you had this like in say like the mid '90s a nice mid '90s action movie, take the Black Widow out of it, you just had these characters doing what they were doing. This is a great movie. Taking a lot of that stuff out of there. Just a good action movie, but like I don't know, it just didn't really. And to me, like the Taskmaster thing, but like for me, it didn't. The Taskmaster thing didn't completely ruin the movie. It was just kind of. It was a letdown. It was a letdown. The expanding needs to build up the previous films instead of started from scratch with a boring MCU focus. Well, I mean, that's what they're doing. They are building up the previous films by expanding on it, like they did at the beginning of Hawkeye, where they showed the Battle of 2012, um, where they showed like all the people coming back from the snap in WandaVision, and just some of those different things from the past that are kind of affecting the now and how they're building on that. I mean, that's exactly what they're doing. Now, Black Widow, I would say, kind of done a little bit of that so as well, more so than serving anything kind of itself in the future. And Shang-Chi, I would say it did more kind of expansion stuff, as well as, building that particular character up as well. I think it did a little bit of both. But yeah, I mean they are doing that, but I think with the shows it's just going at a slow pace. Like, they're planting the seeds. They're not doing big expansions here with these shows. They're just putting a couple of things in there for them to build upon later. That's what I think. Star Wars MCU says, I think the focus on diversity has definitely taken away from the stories. Oh, okay. He's responding to Brian McCann's here. The diversity focus is killing Marvel. Too many countries will not allow that crap into their countries. You know, I don't even know that it's necessarily that. There are just, it's the certain things that they're doing. It's not necessarily the diversity, because all these films are diverse in the first place. All right, they're all diverse in the first place. But I think some of the certain things that they're doing and focusing on for them is not even focusing on. Some of the things they're putting in them is what's killing it. Like, we know the kiss in the Eternals for the community, right? I mean, that's one of the things. Like, and I even said, like, dude, like, at the theater in the movie, like, I was like, I think I felt as uncomfortable as those actors looked on screen doing that. So hey, I think I was in the same boat as they were. But I mean, it is little things like that. I do get that. I do think that as well. But overall, it's like these little things, and again, it's those little things that trigger people and get all the hate watch time and stuff like that. Dang it, maybe I just need to do it. I just need to make some outrage videos. I need to focus on diversity, apparently. Let's see, where are we at here? Reefer Man says Hank Hill has spoken. I hope it's 30 minutes of screen time, says Chillmonger. I think it. I mean, combined, I think it may be. It may be. I mean, because being two, what is it? They're saying like it's gonna be about 2.5 hours or something like that. The movie. So, yeah. Loki was a bait and switch, and Hawkeye appears so too. Use the character name to get audience and make it about female replacement. I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe with Loki, and if they do that with Loki, that's terrible, because Sophia DiMartino is not the kind of actor to carry on this role and do all that. To me, she's what ruined the Loki show. Well, I wouldn't even say ruined, but brought it down. And so far, I would say with Hawkeye, I mean, and again, they're not here to replace, but she is going to be the Archer. Yeah. Will she take on the name Hawkeye? Maybe so. Maybe she'll just go by Kate Bishop. But I mean, I think overall thing, obviously she will be the Archer of the group. Yeah. But I don't know. So far, I'm feeling it. I like what they're doing. They're not going to replace Hawkeye. You know, what I mean, they're not going to do it. I mean, they can try to. They could do all that, but you're not going to do it, right? You just can't do it. King James says, hide Matt Murdock, not the Spider-Man. Right. There you go, King James. Yeah. We would riot. Stormy says, can I join for a second? Where's the link? Oh, it's on the community tab, Stormy. It's on the community tab. Yeah. Oh no. Hey, what happened? How come? Hey, what happened here? Did I miss something? There we go. All right. For whatever reason, the Skype shut down. The Skype shut down. So Mike, if you want to join, if you're still on and want to join back, or maybe it was because you left. It might be because you left. Because you left. Reefer Man says, Luke, I'm a crybaby like my father was before me. Yeah. That's funny. Oh man. Why didn't you like? And for me, King James, I think it was mostly the. I think it was mostly Sophia DiMartino in there. Like, just her acting kind of like she wasn't. She's like, I don't know. She just didn't bring it. And I think that was it for the most part. I mean, that was like the worst part of it for me. And that and like it didn't. It seemed like there was a whole bunch of fluff around what we got in like the last episode or two. There was just like a whole lot of fluff around it. Yeah, I don't know, just too much fluff. I think that's really about it. But it just didn't quite do it. Didn't quite do it for me. There's a Reefer Man says there's a badass meme going around of Nineveh, Wheel of Time, using her healing magic to save the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Snapped here. That's funny. That's funny. Star Wars MCU OG says Wheel of Time has surprised me. Didn't think I would, but it's solid. Kate Bishop was a teen. It would have been jail bait and switch. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. You know, it's funny. I can't remember. I remember even somebody saying something about how they thought that was a little weird. Hawkeye going to her. Clint Barton going to her apartment and everything was like a little creepy, a little weird, little like, you know, maybe shouldn't be there. I'm like, I think it was Tristan from Nerdette's Newsstand. I think it was her. I was like, I didn't really think that. I mean, it didn't seem like there wasn't anything creepy or anything weird going on, if you ask me. But you know, that's. But then again, I mean, I know, you know, certain people have been in situations that have different experiences than I do. So hey, I get it. But I thought it was all good. I thought it was all kosher. I got disconnected. All right, no problem, Mike Porter. Yeah, I was gonna say for whatever reason it just stopped. It just stopped. Let's see. Do you think Kate Bishop? Eric Heine says, do you think Kate Bishop will be the Ronin suit again? Man, I hope not because it looked silly. It looked silly on her. Yeah, fair point. Yeah, she wasn't the best. Yeah, I didn't really. Yeah. I'm Two Skills. Thank you so much for being here. Stormy re-upped his channel membership, and yeah, it should be there on the community tab. Stormy, I was getting ready to send you the link. Because I know you've been here anyway. But I was gonna bring Eric Heine on as well. But I see we've got somebody else here in the chat. Who do we have here? Oh, okay, Mike. Okay. Is it saying Mike Porter joined again? Let's see. Do we have anybody else? Anybody? Hello? Let's see. Oh, I guess also I better make sure that I better make sure. Oh man, why is it? What? Why is it doing that? Why did it just end it again? There we go. I hit a button and I disconnected. Okay, I think that's maybe that's what it is. Just when you're hanging up because you're the only one in there. Could be. I mean, I guess if I need to, I can always start a new link. I can always put a new one up. But I think it should be working. Let me see. Let me see here. Let me see. Oh. Is this? Can you see me? Oh no. All right. Get rid of your link because I know you've been here anyway, bro. Eric Heine on as well, but it is working. It is working. All right, there we go. All right, we got my man Stormy in the building. How are you doing?
What's up, Trinity? How are you?
Doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing perfectly fine at the moment.
At the moment,
Yeah, I had a little like downtime over the summer, but like now I'm doing better. So, but
all right.
I think these 2 episodes of Hawkeye were awesome, man.
Absolutely, yeah, me too. I'm surprised. I'm quite surprised at how good they were and how much I've enjoyed them. I actually even said on Twitter. Oh man. Oh, okay. I was gonna put you on camera if you want.
Oh wait,
Um,
I can put it back on.
but yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking about. Let's see. I was even saying on Twitter how I kind of feel like this. Did it work? There we go. I feel like this episode or these episodes of these first 2 episodes are the best 2 episodes of any of the MCU shows that have come out so far. That's
I agree with
kind of how I
that.
feel about it.
I totally agree with that. I think um, WandaVision, the first 2 episodes to me were like weak. Like I just wasn't feeling it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier started off slowly. I think that the closest to Hawkeye is Loki with the first 2 episodes. But I just think like here's the difference between the other shows and this. It seems like there was like a little bit of action in this, and I think that was lacking in the earlier shows. I think the first 2 episodes of all the other ones were like lacking in action. Now
Mhm.
that's not to say that Hawkeye, the first 2 episodes had that lot of action, but
Mhm.
just more than the others, you know. And that's I mean a show about Hawkeye needs action, in my opinion.
Oh, it's not you. It was on my end. It was on my end.
No problem.
But yeah, I do. I think these were really good, and I think it's I think one of the biggest things is like you're saying with the action as well. But I think the other thing is too is this one is probably out of all these shows. I mean, maybe What If, but this one
Hmm.
is probably the one that's least affected by the pandemic and the shutdowns and everything.
Probably.
I'm just guessing because here the production. I mean, everything about this just looks so much better. The quality of it even seems
I
better.
agree.
I don't know what it is about, and I don't even know how many times I've watched this show, just having it on the background as I was making the thumbnails and stuff for this and some of
Hmm.
the assets and stuff here. And I'm like, dang, I'm like, I don't know what it is about the show, but I watched it several times. Like, it's just fun. It's just fun and entertaining.
I have a big feeling that this will be. I have a feeling that this will be the most rewatched anyone out of all the other. Like, I I already watched the first 2 episodes 4 times right now. That's how much I enjoyed it, and like I just can't wait on the latest episode because like there are so many things that will be revealed in this show. It seems.
Mm-hmm.
I have a couple of theories about it, but yeah, I think this one will be my favorite of the year. I can see that now already.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, the one thing I still just can't put my finger on quite what it is. Because again, I mean, we're just kind of, because I thought like, is it the flow of it? What is it about the show? And I think it's like, I think they just planted enough seeds of mystery and everything for me to be ready for episode 3 that's going to set this thing off going into episode 4 before we get the last 2 episodes. And I don't know, it's just hit the right pacing for me, I think.
Yeah, it's the right pacing, and it seems like they are like misguiding us with some things, you know. Because like here's the thing, Tony, no, not Tony, that's the actor's name, but like Jack, like Swordsman from the comics,
Mm-hmm.
like he's like not really a hero, but he's also not really a villain. So he's more of like a jerk, it seems. So in the show they are making it seem like he killed Armand and like he's the big villain of the show. I just think that's like a total misguiding, you know. I think he will like be one of the like he I think he will turn out to be like on the good side, and I think the mother, Eleanor, I think she will be like the overarching villain of the series because I have this big feeling that she will be Madame Mask in disguise.
Mm-hmm. See, and
Madame Mask, from comics.
yeah, and that I'm not really sure Madame Mask necessarily, but she's definitely a villain. And you're reminding me because the other day when on Wednesday when I had Chillmonger on, I was like, I'm not sure if I just had if I smoked too much or I didn't have enough coffee. But he but he even asked about that scene with the basically Armand where he was killed, and I was like oh yeah, swordsman. I was like no, it's her mom, it's the mom. I definitely think it's the mom. I mean, we seen Armand in there like threatening her and everything, and just the way everything is. Like, she's obviously not a good guy, and we get in the very beginning of the show. And we because also where we see her relationship with Kate at the very start, but we seen her parents were sitting there fighting. They were having a discussion, and they seen that she was listening in, and like, oh, the father says, you're gonna go talk to her, and she even looked almost even disgusted, but she's like, who are we kidding here? You go talk to her. So we obviously know they don't get along the best, and even the things that she said in that opening scene, she's like, what is it? Solutions don't just fall out of the sky. Her solution did. Her solution did fall out of the sky. And I think that was kind of like the big red herring there at the beginning of the show. And then obviously you get into it and you see that she's very villainous. And is she behind the tracksuit mafia? I mean, because I look at, she had the red dress on. You got the tracksuit mafia that are in the red clothes. But the other thing, another correction, when I was with Chillmonger the other day talking, it was I said Red Hood when I meant Crimson Cowl. I was wondering if maybe she's the Crimson Cowl. But I don't know.
Crimson Cowl, man. I can't remember which character that is, to be honest. Maybe I can search it up real quick. Crimson how? Crimson what?
Crimson Cowl. Well, the thing is, there was an original iteration of the character. Eventually, it became a female character, and she ended up taking over the Masters of Evil when Zemo was doing his Thunderbolts thing. And I thought that was a very interesting, because eventually Hawkeye went to take over the Thunderbolts, and one of their villains was still Red Hood. And I've seen her in the she's in the red and all that stuff. I'm like, nah, or not Red Hood, but see, I'm doing it again. Crimson Cowl, and I'm just
aren't you talking about is that the same character as the Hood?
As who?
The Hood, like that's the guy with like the two guns and like the red cape on, like the Hood.
I think the Hood is a different character. I think he's a different character. I think I could be completely wrong. I'm not sure if that might be another alias, but I know Crimson Cowl is definitely one, and I know, I'm pretty sure the Hood is another one, because I think the Hood was actually was the main villain in the recent run, Hawkeye Freefall. So
I don't know. You've read Matt Fraction run with Hawkeye,
I haven't.
You haven't, because like here's the thing, like they did something with like the parents with Eleanor and what's the dad's name again? Derek. Like they changed the roles, like, because in the comics the mother dies, and then the dad is the one behind all these like criminal things. So they changed it up in this show where like the dad so-called dies because he's coming back, because we didn't see him die on screen. And what they did with the mother is make her like the villainous, and because Kate has a sister in the comics, and she's kind of a bitch, to call it that way. So it seems like they combined the mother and the sister's like aesthetics from the comics, and they combined it into one character and changed her character to the father's character. So I think that's a very cool way of like changing it up.
Yeah, and that's something they definitely do in the MCU all the time. Like it's that whole MCU
always.
mystery meat. That's what I like to call it. It's MCU mystery meat.
Now I wanna know something like, no, let me Jesus, my dyslexia. I want to know your opinion on this. Do you think this show will be a boner situation if Kingpin doesn't show up?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's a boner situation. I mean, unless he comes in and he's not Kingpin, you know.
Mm,
I think the leaks and everything. I mean, is it gonna happen? Is he gonna be there? I mean, possibly. If he's not, I won't be super disappointed. But they're obviously leading somewhere in here. I like if it is like I just don't see where he would be a major character in it. If anything, it would just be like a cameo revealing him at the end, kind of maybe behind everything. But I know like all of these shows have kind of done the thing where they set up and they give you the villain within the first episode or two in the first place. Typically, the first episode,
yep.
you've already met your villains and all of that stuff, and I kind of feel that's what they're doing the same thing here. So they could certainly bring him in as somebody, like hey, here's Kingpin kind of behind all this, where they're just going to show his face and do the cameo. But I don't know.
I know one thing. I know if he's in the show, I'm damn sure he's the one who bought Avengers Tower. Like I'm damn sure.
Oh, you
of
think
that.
so?
Like if he's in the show, Avengers
All right.
Tower got turned into Fist Tower. I'm like 99% like that's the case.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I am True Skill says Trinity. I have a question off topic. I was watching Avengers: Age of Ultron. How the hell did Hulk fly the Quinjet to another planet? That's a damn good question.
Drifted into space.
That's a damn good question. I don't have an answer for that other than maybe they had it pre-programmed to go somewhere before, kind of like Tony's suit in Iron Man 3. That's the only thing. That's the only guess I could make on that, man.
I think it's because the Hulk isn't like really at that time the Hulk wasn't like an intelligent creature. So what if he just didn't know how to he probably didn't know how to fly the thing, so he just drifted into space, landed on Sakaar or something. I think that's what happened.
Maybe it went until the wheels fell off, basically.
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
could be. Skip and Tosh, thank you so much for being here, and thank you about the audio thing. I realized as we were going, like, you know what? I think that's doubled right now. But thank you. Never rewatch Age of Ultron until today, man. I like Age of Ultron. Mike Porter says I think the Quinjet hit a wormhole and got dumped out at that planet, and that could be too. Star Wars MCU OG here says, Trinity, we were talking about Crimson Cowl the other day. Justin Hammer's daughter and Ultron have both been Crimson Cowl at different times. Interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, I know it's definitely a mantle that's been kind of different people have been read Crimson Cowl. See, it's because
it's kind of like the same situation like the Power Broker. The Power Broker is another one of these characters that's got like that 1,000 people have been Power Broker in the comics. I think Crimson Cowl is like the same situation.
Mm-hmm. I'm True Skill says the Quinjet wasn't made for space travel. Well, I'll put this argument out there that if you watch Captain Marvel, they actually used one of the Kree. One of the Skrulls actually went out there and adapted one of the early Quinjets that they had to go into space. And I would guess that they probably used that technology in every single one afterward. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna say yes or no. I would just leave it at that. But
Nick Fury and Shield have like knowledge of the Kree, so
yeah. The only thing
it can be that they just like
the only thing I would say is having enough oxygen for actual space travel, to travel from Earth to anywhere significant without actually hitting a wormhole or anything like that. That's the one argument I would definitely make for that. Definitely not made for long-term space travel that would lead you to Sakaar. But again, he would have had to hit a wormhole to end up in Sakaar. More so than anything, I would think, because that's kind of what it was the dumping land, and things were just thrown there. But yeah, I mean, I will say that, I mean, not for long-term space travel. Yeah. Mom suspect for sure. Yeah. Is Red Hood a woman in the Hawkeye TV show? No, well, Crimson Cowl. We're talking Crimson Cowl, not Red Hood. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I see her in the red and everything, and that's what had me thinking Crimson Cowl. And I don't know. That was just my thought. And I know that there's certainly like Stormy was saying with the whole Madam Mask connection as well. Let's see. Reefer Man says Stormy has a hell of a Marvel collection. Damn good stuff.
Thank you, Wayne.
Yeah. What?
I bought this one. I bought this one last week,
Okay.
and I'm very proud of it. Because
Nice.
Black Knight,
Mhm.
one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I actually hit some, I had to go out, one of the things I do is part-time gig I got is for Aftershock Comics. I got to go visit local comic book shops and stuff like that. And I was in a couple yesterday. I have to go visit once a month, and the month's coming to an end. Just been kind of so busy with everything, so I got out to some yesterday, and it was like the perfect day because it was on the weekend, and they were still having Black Friday sales at one of them. And man, I got a couple pickups. I was really excited to get just because the price on them was really good. But
What did you pick
well,
up?
there was one of them I didn't get though, and the one of them I didn't get, it was $70. They were both hardcover. Was the complete run of the David Aja Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye. I was like, I should get it. I was like, no, I'm not gonna get it. I didn't get it.
You should have, man. You should
should
have.
have.
It's like one of my favorite stories of all time in the comics. At Marvel side, that is.
Yeah, I should have got it. Dang it. But what I did get was I got X-Men Volume 1, the Claremont Jim Lee run, the Volume 1 of that, and Volume 1 Daredevil. I think it's got like the first 43
Nice.
issues of Daredevil as well. And yeah, so I went ahead and got those. I was pretty excited. And I spoiled
Hey,
the
Trinity,
video.
sorry to interrupt you. Trinity, sorry to interrupt you quick, but I have to
No
go
problem.
because in half an hour I'm going to record my podcast.
All right.
So thank you that I could come on today, and I'll see you. I'm going to have you on soon.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit you. Up.
Absolutely, guys.
You have to make plans, man.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go check out the Superverse podcast. They're here on YouTube. You can go check them out. You can go follow them on Twitter.
Thank you, man.
Go follow him on Twitter. That's my man Stormy. But yeah, thank you so much for being here today. Like I said,
no
we're going to be
problem.
doing more of these probably here on Sundays. Just kind of finishing out and starting up the week. So you're more than welcome to come back, Stormy. Always great to have
I'll
you, man.
drop in, sure. Thank you, man. Have a great day.
You too. Take it easy. All right. Let's see. Where are we at here? There we go. Bam. Let me turn this thing on. Obviously, we didn't have anybody else in here. Let's see. There we go. We're going to get this call started back up in case anybody else wants to join the conversation. Let's see. Skippintosh says, I don't think Hulk flew to Sakaar. I think he got lost in space and got swept up in space drama and ended up at Sakaar from other transport. Likely became the muscle from space pirates. Well, I mean, they had the Quinjet there on Sakaar, but that's not to say that he didn't get like you're saying, kind of hit somewhere. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't think he could have traveled too far in that for any length of time. Even one person in that one cabin breathing the air, it's probably not going to last too long. And we know this is a real problem because we obviously seen Tony and Nebula as they were in the what was that? Would have been the was that the Milano? Was that the Milano? Or was that the Benatar? Shit, I can't even remember now. It was the Benatar, wasn't it? We even seen that, the obviously oxygen is a problem even back in Endgame too. So, obviously, yeah. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, and chances are he probably, I mean, something did probably happen with him as well. I mean, just kind of like what he was doing there on Sakaar in the first place. So I mean, I'm sure somebody was used him and seen him, found whatever way they could to kind of get him to work with them and take advantage of him, I guess. Absolutely. I need that Black Knight, says Reefer Man. Yeah. Skip and Toss says these are fictional characters. We don't really need to dissect it all that much. Doing that eventually just suck all the wonder and fun out of it. This ain't real life. We mad Mephisto absent, right? Yeah, agreed. Definitely. Oh man. How do we join the call? I actually had a link on the community stream for channel members, but I am going to open it up. And for some other people, I'm going to send this link out to Eric Heine. I'm going to get Eric Heine on here for a minute. And I will also send it out. There you go, Eric. Eric, I sent that link out to you. Let's see, I can send the link out to... I can send the link out to Skip and Tosh also if you want to join. We'll probably go for maybe about another half hour or so. All right. Jared Bishop, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a very good day today. Says, hope everybody's having a good morning as well. Thank you. Hulk is immortal, probably doesn't need to breathe. Well, he would need air. Yeah, I mean, you still need air. I mean, there's certain, you still need it, you know. But I understand the logic. I understand where you're going. I understand. But yeah, I would think he still needs air to breathe, oxygen. We all need oxygen, dang it. We all need oxygen. At least I think. Check your Twitter, Eric. Eric, check your Twitter. Check your Twitter, Eric. Check your Twitter. Check your Twitter. Twitter. Check it. I know you got it too. I know you got Twitter. I know you got Twitter because that's where I sent you the link before, I think. Yeah, it's in your Twitter. Let me double check and make sure it's sent. I'll double check. I'm pretty sure it did though. Pretty sure it did. Yeah. It did. It's there. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, again, you know, I just don't know what it is about this show, you know, and I haven't even heard a whole lot of people out there talking and complaining, doing it, you know, how do people, the usual suspects out there trashing this show or anything. Obviously, there is the whole point of we've obviously got the whole point that Kate Bishop is going to be taking over the mantle of Hawkeye. I mean, is she ever going to become Hawkeye? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't believe that. Will she be the the whole Archer of the new Avengers, the young Avengers, the woke Avengers, whatever you want to call them? I was like, yeah, she's going to be the Archer of the group, and she's going to be taking over that. But I mean, are they going to call her Hawkeye and all that stuff? Nah, I don't know. But it is obviously a passing of the torch, bringing in the new generation of characters. But yeah, I don't even see a whole lot of that. There's just a whole lot of people out there just talking about like it's, you know, even the people that are, you know, I would say traditional haters, just kind of like, it's kind of average, you know. It's just, you know. And I've seen some people who are really digging the show as well. Again, I think this is one where Marvel has finally really hit their stride in getting a show produced and made right without a lot of the restrictions that they were having in the early days of the, oh man, is that funny? We're saying the early days of the pandemic. They just like a lot affected these shows. I mean, you take a look at WandaVision, you can see how that kind of affected it. You can definitely take a look at Falcon and Winter Soldier and how that was hugely affected. Look at even Loki. And then, you know, what if? I mean, what if is I think a different kind of scenario. But then you get here into the Hawkeye. This one, like from episode 1 to episode 2, none of it feels anywhere out of place or disjointed, where I really felt that in some of the other shows. And again, I think a lot of it was because of how they were affected by the pandemic. Jared Bishop says, I don't think a lot of people have seen it yet because the holidays this week. Most of my normie friends didn't even know Hawkeye was out this week. Man, you know what? You got terrible normie friends. You need to get them out of your life. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life, dude. You don't. You don't. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. All right, let me see. Okay, nobody's joined yet. I sent the link out. I was gonna say hopefully it worked. Hopefully it worked. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. Let's see. Hopefully it doesn't kick me out. Hopefully it doesn't kick me out. I don't even know if it's gonna let me do that. Will it? Will it? All right. Uh-oh. 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 Okay. All right. Yeah, it's working. It's working. I just had to double check. This is double checking. It's all good. It's all good. Oh man. And then yeah, there we go. I shouldn't have ended it because then it booted me from the chat. All right. Reefer Man says Occupy Avengers was the wokest and Clint was the head of that team. Really? I've never read it. I never even heard of it. That's, you know what? Was Kate Bishop there as well? Was she part of the Occupy Avengers? That's interesting. That's interesting, Reefer Man. And why aren't you, Reefer? Why aren't you on here? Anyway, that's interesting. Occupy Avengers. I never heard of that. I've never read that. That's very interesting. Make me want to get on Marvel Unlimited and check that out and see if there's any parallels to that to this. To this. I don't know. But anyway, okay. Guys, I see. I sent out the link. Nobody has joined the chat. Nobody else has joined the chat yet. But I've got other things I've got to get done today, though, as well. So I guess maybe that's where we're going to go ahead and call it a stream for now, folks. Here, let me. Bam! Bam! I kicked it out. You can't join no more. You can't. I'm sorry. But anyway, folks, thank you all so much for being here today for this community stream. Please make sure if you want to become part of the community streams, you want to do all that, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit those bell notifications so you know anytime we have uploaded new videos or are going live. We are going to be doing this again next Sunday morning. We're going to have a Hawkeye community stream talking about Hawkeye and just other nerdy things out there. In case you missed the beginning of the show, my man Mike Porter came in and even talked about other nerdy things, like some music, listening to those documentaries of, that they did recently on Disney Plus for the Beatles. I haven't watched it yet. I do like the Beatles, though. I do like, and I'm like maybe an early to mid Beatles fan. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do like the Beatles old school stuff. Let's see. Yes, yeah. Thank you, Mike Porter, for being here. Yeah, I was gonna say maybe next week for sure. Skip and Toss if you want to come on for sure. Yeah, come on. We'll do it next week for sure. I do have the first issue of the Matt Fraction Hawkeye run. Oh, okay. I think it's a hip hop. Nice. All right. Well, gotta figure out this member. Oh, you don't have to be a channel. You don't have to be a channel member. You don't have to be a channel member. I was just doing that here for the first one, since it's the first one we've done in a while, and get some of the channel members out here and all that. So you don't have to be a channel member. You don't have to be a channel member to join the streams or anything like that. These are for everybody. Anybody who wants to come in and talk and nerd out about these shows and discuss them. Just today, I wanted to bring on Myrtle Maniacs, because I knew there would be a few of our channel members who would want to come on and talk about those. Mostly being my man Mike Show Porter, licensed to Show Porter. Yeah. Also, Eric, we'll have you on the show here very soon as well, Eric. Definitely Skip and Tosh would like to have you on again. Stormy, it was great to have you on. Star Wars MCOG, if you want to join the chat, Wayne, you want to join the chat next week, let's do it. We're gonna do that. But thank you all so much for being here today. You all have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend. Be safe. We'll see you all tomorrow morning on the Morning Movie Chat. You all have a good day, and we'll see you. Thank you so much for being here on this community stream. Later.